Yes, sir. Everybody's aware of Boy Cried Wolf, the situation where the boy cried wolf, to the point that when there was an actual wolf, no one believed him. I say that to say this. One of the greatest race hustlers in today's era. I don't know what she makes off it, but she screams racism left and right. So now everybody's supposed to take it as a joke. Oh, you're trolling, so on and so on. So if some actual racism happens to you, and I'm not hoping for that, but if it was to happen to you and nobody believes you, that's on you because everybody wants to scream racism left and right, that they're taking the meaning and the substance out of the word. They want to desensitize everyone in the US to that word, to where everybody is desensitized to the point of a so-called black man or a black teen getting killed in the streets by another so-called black person. Nobody makes an uproar about it. Nobody's screaming. Nobody's protesting. Nobody's standing outside of those so-called communities. But everybody wants to cry racism and shit when it's racially motivated and it's getting old and it's getting tired and people are waking up, people are speaking up. And Jemele Hill and Carrie Champion, there's a reason why they're not on ESPN anymore and they're on Vice. They're on a show that nobody's watching. So they had to create some spice, create an uproar, and say that they're trolling. But nobody believes you. You need more people. This shit is getting old. Jemele Hill and Carrie Champion will get canceled eventually. Promise you. Nobody's going to be paying attention to a damn thing they're saying because nobody will take you serious. And the shit is getting old. I'm trying to tell you, 2020 is becoming the year of the great revealing. You're going to see everybody's true colors. You're going to see that everybody's using this pro-black shit as big business off of the back of the so-called black man. Black man, wake up. They're using the plight of your dead brothers in the streets for business.
Well, yesterday, friends of our show, Jemele Hill and Carrie Champion, um, took a little swim, maybe their first swim into the congratulations you played yourself water. When they had, first of all, big ups to them, they had Jake Paul on their show, which right now is the interview everyone wants to get.
Everybody wants to interview Jake Paul because he knocked out Nate Robinson, an amateur boxer. Everybody's so hyped about that, like they never seen a knockout on World Star or in the boxing ring or in the octagon. Let's be serious.
Everyone had to talk to Jake Paul after the big Nate Robinson knockout. And they tried to do a sort of like joking bit where they asked him, was him knocking out Nate Robinson racist? Right? And they asked it, and he said, no, like that's crazy. What are you talking about? And then they had like computer problems. Now listen, this was put up on the web, so obviously this edit was made, and the powers that be at Vice liked it the way it played out this way. And so they
are the powers that be. They put it out and trolled everybody.
So they wanted that edit, that weird edit. So then there's a weird edit, and then they ask him again. Then Carrie Champion asked him the same thing. Is it racist that you knocked out Nate Robinson?
That's racist.
So Jemele asked a question, the Wi-Fi got fuzzy and whatnot. Then Carrie Champion doubled down and asked it. Yes, she was giggling while she asked it, but the dude Jake Paul was so dumbfounded from the question that it didn't make any fucking sense. Y'all could catch that clip out, but the clip was not funny whatsoever.
And I guess if the goal was simply to troll, well then mission accomplished because people got angry.
I sent you Carrie Champion's tweet about it.
Yeah, but to me it's still a congratulations you played yourself. If you have to come out and do a full thing explaining it because people are coming for your neck so hard,
well, how about this?
Then you're not built for the troll.
Well, because I don't think they really wanted people to get that upset about something so stupid.
And by the way, that's why we have a button built for it.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
But, everybody that's really up in their feelings about Jemele Hill and Carrie Champion going at Jake Paul, who goes at people, he is a troll. You get the button.
Congratulations, you played.
Here you go with this old man caping for these broads. Meanwhile, let Donald Trump or some other Caucasian say some shit. He's going to be the first one claiming white privilege and white supremacy and all that nonsense. Dude, it's only one way or the other. You cannot be joking about this shit. Who gives a fuck about your feelings? There's nothing funny about this trolling situation at all. No one is going to take anybody serious that wants to scream and shout racism, racism, and all that nonsense. It's getting old. This is why nobody's taken serious in this quote-unquote black community with no culture and no guidelines and shit like that. Everybody got their own ideologies, philosophies, and shit like that. What's funny, what's serious, who you should vote for, so on and so on.
Self.
Who cares?
Yeah, I didn't care about the Jake Paul part. Honestly, I didn't think that was. Yeah, who cares? I certainly am not going to ever lose sleep over Jake Paul, who's a professional troll. I think it was more that people take Jemele and Carrie kind of seriously, so they thought the questioning was so crazy. Not about the Jake Paul part, but like,
Right,
wait,
if
do you really
well,
think it's racist for a white guy to beat a black guy in a boxing match?
People got to do their research and their history way back in the early 1900s and whatnot, 1950s, 1960s. Those racially motivated fights meant something to so-called whites, so-called blacks. So people don't understand where this is coming from, to where you see somebody who resembles you and then you root for him. This stems from back in the day, to where things were barely integrated. So this shit stems from history that people are unaware of. So people want to joke about that shit. It's not funny at all, dude. People don't understand this divide and conquer tactic that's been getting used for years upon years upon years. For the so-called whites to root for the white boxer, so-called blacks to root for the black boxer. One loses, you all lose. So now Nate Robinson gets knocked out and it's all comedy, so on and so on. I understand the same shit happened with Pacquiao, but dude, there's bigger shit to be talking about. She wants to troll. Was that racist? Knocking out a black guy? Can't anybody in this world take Jemele Hill serious or Carrie Champion?
So I think
That's
that,
racist.
You know, so really the only congrats is
You know what?
got it.
As I think about it, you know what? I do.
You think it's racist?
It's racist. It's absolutely
That's
racist. The whole thing was
racist.
set up racist.
And by the way, what Ebro just did with that laugh was all that would have been needed at the end to avoid this becoming a thing. There was no laugh. It just ended.
But is it really a thing?
It was a thing yesterday, for sure.
Really? Like, people were really upset? I couldn't gauge if people were really upset or if they were just being fake outraged on Twitter. Just to
Well,
be mad, you know what I
okay.
mean?
Well, okay, then let's never do a subject related to that's everything. I
Well,
don't
no,
think.
because I think there were people who really. But see, my thing with the whole thing is the fight was a goof, right?
And a troll,
and
correct.
The whole fight itself. Nate Robinson versus Jake Paul is not a serious boxing match. You see what I'm saying? Now the
for
knockout was serious. That was
Yeah.
serious and very
That was real.
real.
Very
was
real.
very real. But everything after that is.
Now,
is
the only thing I
clearly
see as
for
a
entertainment.
congratulations is these days, once you enter the zone of now you're Kevin Hart explaining why you're funny on Clubhouse,
Yeah, you can't explain.
that they got to explaining. Once they started explaining, I got to hit you with the button.
If it was funny, everybody would have been laughing and they would have swept it under the rug. But nothing's funny about being a troll and crying racism, because when some shit actually happens, God forbid, nobody's going to believe you and nobody will care, because you're basically classifying yourself as a troll now. Oh, it's funny and shit, but that dude was not laughing. He looked like he just woke up and shit, slapping himself in the face and all that. He didn't know what the fuck was going on. I don't know that dude. First time I heard of him. Who gives a shit if he's a troll? But that shit ain't funny at all. They could have came up with any other question. These are supposed to be some intelligent sisters, right? Yo, y'all gotta do better. Journalism is a joke. Anybody could be involved in the media, and that's why ESPN is dying. Fox Sports, they're still staying afloat because they're not really all the way down with that leftist agenda and all that SJW bullshit, besides Shannon Sharp. But other than that, it's getting old with these tactics, the virtue signals, everything. All you revolutionaries screaming police brutality, white privilege, white supremacy, it is getting old and tired. So yeah, you can look at it as a joke and whatnot, put your cape on for these broads, but you played yourself. Period.